Hello, everybody. Happy 420 and welcome to our 6th annual Flower Power Tokeativity Social. My name is Lisa Snyder and I am the co-founder and chief innovation officer of Tokeativity, and I will be your MC today. Before we get started, we would like to acknowledge the stolen land that we reside on here at HQ in Portland, Oregon in the United States. We would like to acknowledge the generations of Indigenous plant medicine teachers, women, mothers, witches, allies, and those who have been impacted the most by the drug war, all of whom continue the legacy of cannabis and plant medicine despite the toxic patriarchal erasure of culture and ancient knowledge. The full land acknowledgement can be found on the reception page here inside the event. I want to thank you so much for being here with us today. We are broadcasting live to our social channels right now from the main stage inside our digital event. And for those of you who would like to connect with the community live during the event, you can RSVP for free at tokeativity.com/events and get all the login information to join the fun. Today, we are giving away a bunch of stuff on this very happy high holiday. We've got 10 copies of Wendy Borman's Mary Jane's Women of Weed film, a travel gift card from Front Row Travels, tickets to Buds and Brushes Jamaica for their 423 digital event, as well as gift certificates to Tokeativity, which are good for membership, advertising, and sponsorship. So you have to be inside our digital event and present to win. So you have to stay to the end. And if you're watching from one of our social channels, you can register for free at our website. Today, on the main stage, we have 2 very special keynotes. Our first guest, which will be joining us in just a little bit, is Nicole Kennedy. She's the co-founder of Green Muse. We're going to be talking about how to start a dispensary, a Black woman's perspective. Really important information. She's been through a lot, and we're excited to hear from her today. Our second guest on the main stage is Joy Hudson. She's the co-founder of Nimble Distro. And we're going to be talking about running a social enterprise. What is it? Why does it matter? And, you know, how can we run a social enterprise ourselves and learn from her experiences? We'll also be hosting interactive sessions during the event, including Bridges, which is our Courageous Conversations series about race, equity, and inclusion, which is hosted by Mskindness, Ramirez, and Tiffany, Watkins. We also have a Cannapreneur lounge that's actually happening right now inside the event. It's also a recorded open mic. You can come share about what you're working on in the world. This is hosted by Brittany Parker. She's the founder of A Green Legacy. And we have a very special guest. I mean, everybody's a special guest, right? But we have a very special guest and a very special announcement today with our partnership with the Mommy Jane. And we're going to be talking about how to become a cannabis social media influencer. We just launched something very special today in collaboration with the Mommy Jane that we've been working on for 1.5 years. And I'm so excited to share more with you about that. So there's something here for everybody, whether you're curious about the power of the flower, a daily consumer, a business owner, a cannapreneur, or a creative professional. If you love cannabis and connection, this event is absolutely for you. So I just want to take a moment here and thank our partners. Let's see if I can remove myself from the feed without stopping the you saw them in the very beginning of our event, and I want to shout out everybody that's helped us make this a very magical experience. Thank you to our brand partners, Kites, Sacred Garden, Thrice, Kindleaf Pendleton, and Scentsy Magazine for your support and dedication to the liberation of women through cannabis. Thank you so much to Nimble Distro, Green Muse, Club Kindness, Vanguard Media Online, and Green Legacy, and the Mommy Jane. Mary Jane's Women of Weed Film, International Consulting Business Women's Association, Oaksterdam University, Highhurstery, Oregon Cannabis Association, Women Leaders in Cannabis, Cannabis Travel Association, Women Employed in Cannabis, The Bluntness, Buds and Brushes, as well as the Cannamom Show. And we had a special community contributor on our event page, Other World Wellness. It really does take a village to make all this stuff happen, and we absolutely appreciate every single one of you who spent any time and energy caring about what we're doing, paying attention to what we're doing, and also listening to your intuition about tapping into this amazing, amazing global community. So if you want to sponsor our digital events, you can head over to tokeativity.com/events, look for the event you want to sponsor, and click on register and select the sponsorship level you want to support. So we have a few exciting announcements we want to share with you before we get into our conversation about the power of the flower. We're excited to announce the launch of Tokeativity Creative, our full-service creative agency that offers dope content creation, creative campaigns, engagement strategies, as well as NFT consulting that help get your brand more exposure and visibility. If you have a brand or product that you want folks to know about, contact us through our website, tokeativity.com/collaborate. And our huge announcement today, if you're on our email list, you got the email. We've officially launched our pre-order sale for our collaboration with the Mommy Jane for cannapreneurs and creative professionals who are looking to next level their social media expertise with the Mommy Jane's Guide to Becoming a Cannabis Social Media Influencer. It's a book and video series with over 85 pages and 70 videos we worked very hard on for 1.5 years of content based on the combination of years of experience in the social media space, helping navigate all the hard stuff so you don't have to spend years of your life figuring it out like we did. So if you order today, you'll get $100 off the entire program automatically. Just visit tokeativity.com/themommyjane, or for those in the live event, we're putting the link in the chat box for you to grab your copy early and get that $100 off. You definitely want to be in this first cohort. We are going to give away all of our secrets. Another announcement, our membership recently got an upgrade. So we now have 5 opportunities to get involved as a member, starting with brand partnership for brands who want to make a splash, business membership for those who want speaking and networking opportunities, our new tier for creative professionals who want to tap into our network, grassroots for those who want to dip a toe in and access our resources, and our basic membership for those who just want to get on the invite list and invitations to our special events. So all memberships get access to our growing list of member-only perks and discounts. You can become a member if you're watching live on our social media, or upgrade your membership at tokeativity.com/join. Today only, our 420 special, we're giving 50% off, which is a huge deal, of all of our membership upgrades through our website. So visit our booth inside the event to get the details of all the memberships, or you can head over to tokeativity.com/join, use the coupon code FLOWERPOWER, all one word, all lowercase, to get 50% off today only. Also, so many things that are happening today. Stop by the photo booth. We do have one here. You have to be inside of the event. We have it in the expo. Take a picture to be for a chance to be featured at the end of the event, or maybe even on our social media. So if you scroll through our Instagram, you'll see past events. We've highlighted lots of the fun things happening behind the scenes. Feel free to consume. We are consumption friendly, and we love to see your weed photos. So send those on over. Okay, for those who are interacting inside today's event, check the schedule on the left-hand side under reception to see what's going on today. Without further ado, I'm excited to welcome our first guest. Nicole Kennedy is the co-founder of Green Muse, and today we're going to be talking about a Black woman's perspective on how to start a dispensary. Green Muse is a dispensary here in Portland, Oregon, and is the source of inspiration for art, science, music, sports, and fashion through cannabis. Formerly known as Green Hop, the first hip-hop dispensary. As Green Muse is a local Black-owned, mom-and-pop-owned dispensary, they are proud to offer healthy premium cannabis at every price point to find your muse. Please welcome Nicole Kennedy.
Hey Lisa,
Hey,
how are you?
How are you? It's really good to see you.
Thank you. It's good to see you as well. Thank you so much for the introduction. I'm super excited to be here. So happy 420.
Happy 420. Are you there in your dispensary right now?
I am, yes. I am multitasking. So you have my full undivided attention right now, but definitely we've been crushing it today. It's been so much fun. So I'm super excited for today. You know, it's just an amazing holiday where we get to celebrate cannabis and the journey that we've been on. And it's just like super exciting because I was thinking about how when I first started in the industry, I came to the Tokeativity events and stuff, and you guys were so sweet and so welcoming, answering all my questions. And I just want to say thanks. I love it.
Aw, that really means so much to me, Nicole. And I know our whole team. I'm actually upstairs in Prism House OG, where we've had a lot of previous Tokeativity socials pre-pandemic, and the whole team is downstairs rooting us on right now. I hear them cheering, and it's so exciting to have you with us. And congratulations on all of your success with your dispensary. We're really excited to hear more about your perspective of starting a dispensary from a Black woman's perspective. So I'll let you take it away, and I'll be back in a little bit.
Awesome. Thanks, Lisa. All right. So, hey out there, everybody. So thank you for tuning in. I totally appreciate you all coming to hear my perspective on starting a cannabis business in this industry. We started our retail dispensary back in 2017, and it's just been a wild ride this whole time. So exciting, learned so much. And as Lisa was talking, it just reminded me of how green I was when I first started out. So you can start from anywhere, and I definitely just want to jump right in and let's get started. All right, so I'm waiting for my little presentation, but here we go. So like I said, we started in 2017, and I've learned so much along the way. And I'm just going to give you guys a few little jewels that I've learned along the way. As I go through the presentation, feel free to drop questions or comments in the chat, and I'll save some time towards the end to get to those and be able to interact with you guys a little bit at the end. All right? Cool. So let's go. All All right. Sorry, I'm not seeing my presentation, but I got it right here, so we're all good. So my first tip on starting a cannabis business, whether you're thinking about doing an edible company, topicals, processing, or doing a grow business or a retail dispensary, the first step that you want to do is build your team. And as you build your team out, be thinking about what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses, and play up your weaknesses. Whoever is on your team should be a complement, a yin to your yang, right? So that you can definitely, like for me, I had to learn sales. I had to really grow as a salesperson because retail is all sales, right? So my partner is awesome with sales. He just takes everything over, and I learned so much from him. So you definitely want to pick a partner that you can learn from and that you guys can grow together. I'm more hands-on with like the spreadsheets and the computer piece. So that is my strength that I bring in. I bring in so many other strengths, but I'm just giving some examples. So make sure that as you build your team, that you're doing that as well. And then anytime you get into this industry, you definitely want to know about the taxes. Oh my God, to retail dispensaries, taxes are just so important. So make sure you have an amazing accountant or a bookkeeper or somebody else on your team that is a numbers person who's going to tell you those numbers, who's going to help you with that piece, because your business can only be successful when you know all the pieces that is going to drive your profit margin and your cost of goods and all of those things. So make sure you have that as well. And then metric. Metric is the magic inventory. This is not the acronym for metric, just so you know, but it's the magic inventory tracking system. It definitely keeps track of all of your inventory and everything that you're bringing in, whether you are a grower or a processor or a retail dispensary. So your thing there is to definitely connect with them, go through all of their trainings, and then also make sure that you have somebody's phone number and email on deck. So if you have a question, you can shoot them an email or you can get in contact with them to keep your business tight, right? You want to stay on top of your inventory. So that should be a part of your team as well. Another piece on your team is definitely knowing somebody at the OLCC. The best thing that you can do for that is contact them, get an email address or a phone number, and put that in your repertoire as well. So you want to make sure that when you build your team is comprised of all the key pieces that you are going to need to be successful in this industry. All right. And then another piece here. Let me make this a little bigger. All right, so within the team, you're going to have people that are actually a part of the business, and then you're going to have those ancillary pieces that I just mentioned that are outside of your business, because the OLCC is definitely not like part of your business, right? But they are essential in knowing like what the regulations are, who can you talk to if you have questions. But within your team, who's actually a part of your business, it is so important to have things spelled out so you know what the expectations are. And I mean, spell it out to the letter so everybody knows what their responsibilities are, what's expected of them, and things don't get dropped or missed. So that's going to be super important to building out your team as well. All right, so the next piece is to know the industry. So being here in the Tokeativity event is the one key piece, because now you can start to network. You can branch out. These are all people that are in the industry. So this is a great networking piece. This is where I started as well. Tokeativity events were not only fun, but they were also informative. And it was a great way for me to network and to get to know people in the industry so that you can, again, build out those ancillary pieces in your team. So make sure you also are conducting some extensive research. The OLCC website, if you are here in Oregon, that's a great resource. If you're not here in Oregon and you are outside of Oregon, check what other regulatory bodies are governing the marijuana programs in your state. So you want to make sure that you go through the website, that you check out what regulations are, and that you just are aware of that, because that's going to make your business as well. I know there's fees and fines if you compromise a rule, or if you do something that is not within the guidelines of the cannabis industry. So you just want to protect yourself and protect your business. So make sure you guys do that as well. And then the key piece, you can't start any business without funding. So some people are lucky enough to have access to huge amounts of capital. If you have capital, go ahead and invest in yourself, invest in your dream, and put that capital to work. But make sure you're very strategic in how you do that. What is going to give you a return on your investment, and what is going to be a more riskier investment? So do your research in those things. If you do not have access to capital, get creative with funding. Be prepared to use your personal savings or look for grants. There's lots of programs out here now within the cannabis industry. There aren't lots, but there are some programs out there that offer grant money for startups. So do your research there. If you have questions, be sure to drop them in the chat, because I can answer some of those questions as well. And I know we're pushing up on the time, but okay. So then the other piece to getting creative is having investors or getting angel funding. So that's another aspect to funding. So make sure that you have your business plan ready, spell everything out, get a market snapshot so you can kind of see like what would be the return on your investment if you were to invest in a particular industry. And then also, how much does everything cost? Here in Oregon, we're pretty lucky that our licensing fees are a lot lower than other states. I know some states, they have licensing fees that are $60,000 and above. Here in Oregon, our licensing fees are pretty low in retrospect of that. All right. And so the next piece is, are you going to employ anyone? If you are planning to employ people, look within your network. And again, look within the industry. I think a great tip for starting out in this industry, if you don't have any experience, or if you've only kind of dreamed of starting an edible business or some other kind of industry business, is to go into a company that you admire, maybe an edible that you like, look for a job and start there. Start at the very base. I think that that's a great way to learn the industry ins and outs, and then to see what you like about those things and what you can take away. And then also the mistakes or some other things that the company might be doing that you want to grow from, and make sure that you learn from, right? It's best to learn from other people's experiences than to experience it and learn those mistakes on your own. But we have to do both, right? So you just pick out which, so yeah, we have to do both. So, all right. And then within your network, if you're hiring from within your network, make sure they have a skill set that you can use, right? Don't just hire your friend because they need a job. Hire your friend because they're great at X, Y, or Z, and it's going to be an asset to your business. So be very careful with that as well, because you don't want to ruin any friendships. I'm pretty sure you've heard the stories, but you want to make sure that you're hiring based on their skills and not to do them a favor. All right. And so, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about us starting out. We started out in 2017, and we started with some very humble beginnings. So we started out, we just had a few strains on the shelf, and we basically just gave it our all. We put our whole heart and soul into this business. And so that's why it is so close to me right now, because we definitely just poured it all in. All right. And so when we started out in 2017, we had like one package of cookies. We didn't have any pre-rolls, and we were so just like ready and excited to be in the industry, but we hadn't done a lot of research. So it was just a lot of hard work and grit that brought us to where we are today, and a refusal to give up. And so with that, I just want to encourage you to do the same. Make sure that you pour your heart into your dream and that you do not give up no matter what. We hit some roadblocks. We had like 12 employees and went down to 2 employees. Like, it's been a wild ride, but it's been so much fun. And if you just continue on and keep dreaming, then I'm sure your canna business will be successful too. All right. I just want to thank everybody. Again, if you have questions, drop them in the chat, and then I will definitely. Oh, I think I see. It says I had to share my screen for my presentation. Totally fine. But if you have questions, drop them in the chat, and I would love to interact with you guys.
Oh gosh, thank you so much, Nicole. That was like such a really cool window into your experience. I know it's sort of hard to abbreviate all the things that you've been through in a short amount of time. And, we do have a couple of minutes here before we have our next guest on. And I wanted to hit home some of the points that you made. You mentioned about building your team and working with your strengths and weaknesses and finding the yin to your yang. How did you go about finding out if the people that you were, trying to work with were, had strengths that you didn't have? Like, was it trial and error, or did you have a certain methodology that you approached it with?
Yeah, definitely. We actually did extensive interviews. And when I mean extensive, we were like, asking about like, what is your sign? What is your, and then also when you do those extensive interviews, just remembering, all the employee regulations and laws and stuff, but like, how compatible are you with this business? Are they charismatic? If we're looking for a bud tender, do they come into the interview like, hey, I'm so-and-so? Because when you're looking for a bud tender, you want somebody that's going to welcome them into the shop like, hey, what's up, y'all? What kind of vibe you trying to get? So that's what we were looking for. And so that's what we were looking for in the interview. So we got super specific about what we were looking for. And then if we had somebody who wasn't that excited about it, it was like, maybe inventory might be your thing instead of interacting with people.
I really appreciate that wisdom. Interviewing folks is so important because it's like you get to set what is important to you, and that whole Q&A portion of the getting to know you when you're talking to somebody new is the best opportunity to get like this window into how the other people are going to work and what the expectations are. Yeah. So interesting also that you went from 12 employees to 2, and that you've been through this whole like roller coaster ride. And I'm sure everybody has had different experiences as a business owner who has had employees and all the roller coaster rides we've all had to go through. For those of you who are just joining us or maybe watching later, in regards to the OLCC is actually like the regulatory, I don't know what to call it exactly. The regulations. It's the people that run the regulations here in Oregon. Yeah. And there are lots of different regulations in different states. Our whole community is coming from different places. And so, if it's not the OLCC here in Oregon, it's something similar in your particular state. So in regards to capital and trying to get capital for your business, what were some of your approaches? You mentioned getting creative with funding. We're definitely familiar with that. But can you share a little bit of insight into that process for yourself?
Definitely. So what we did is, one of the plights for us and a challenge for African Americans is coming up with funding, having access to capital. And so fortunately, we had an extensive savings and we were able to use our savings to start our business. We had to be super strategic with that though, because it's like once it's gone, it's gone. And so we were very strategic in using that, but we definitely were fortunate enough to have a savings. And then that's how we had access to capital. There are grants out there now. There weren't any at the time when we were starting businesses, but there are startup grants now that people can tap into for starting cannabis businesses.
That's so important. And I know that's been like a huge challenge for the BIPOC community as well as women-owned businesses. And really appreciate you talking about that. Last question here, and this is something I ask a lot of like Cannapreneurs is, you know, when you are, you know, challenged, you're having these challenges, you kind of think, I don't know if I could do this. I'm not sure if I can do this anymore. You know, what is it that you tell yourself to kind of get up and do it again the next day?
This industry is a baby compared to other industries. Like, we are literally on the very beginnings of this. And 20, 30 years from now, I don't want to look back on my life and be like, I tapped out within 5 or 10 years. You know, I want to say that no, I stuck with it. I've been in this industry since the beginning, because like 2017 is what the industry was like 2 or 3 years young still. So that is what keeps me going, is the longevity and the ability to be able to look back and be like, I've been in here since like literally the beginning. So that's something that definitely keeps me going. There's so much space here for everyone in this industry. There are so many new smokers coming up, like every day somebody turns 21, right? And if you think about it, this industry is so vast here in the United States, and there's space for everyone. And I just always feel like I can just keep going and keep going, but it does get hard. But I definitely, when I look back, I don't want to say that I gave up. So that's what keeps me going.
Well, thank you so much for being with us today, for taking a step out of your 420 at your dispensary. We really appreciate you and all you've done and your wisdom here in this space. And I wish you the best of luck today and always. We're here for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lisa. Thanks for having me. And I just want to say happy 420, everybody.
Happy 420. Bye. Oh my gosh, I'm just like smiling ear to ear and kind of getting a little teary-eyed, like thinking back to meeting Nicole back in 2017 and like her coming to the Tokeativity Socials, and like how just when you know at least one person in the industry, that's a stepping stone in the direction of your path in this life. And that actually is bringing me to my next guest. I am really excited to welcome Joy Hudson. She's the co-founder and CEO of Nimble Distro. She's built one of Oregon's largest cannabis distributors. From 2017 to 2020, she focused on that before launching Nimble, which is a mission-driven cannabis wholesaler, which she launched the spring of last year. That mission is to begin to heal the damage done by the failed war on drugs. Today, we'll be hearing from Joy about running a social enterprise. What does it mean? How do we do it? And how do we tap in? So please welcome my second guest today, Joy Hudson.
Hi.
Hi, Joy.
Hi there. How are you?
Oh my gosh, I'm so good. I just feel so happy today. It just is, it's such a good day. Happy high holiday to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Nicole was awesome. Of course, as a speaker, I got totally sweaty seeing her slides not come up. And that's why I spared myself and decided to just do notes and not slides.
Yeah. Well, you know, we're here for it. We're just here to listen and learn. And
it was really actually great seeing her present it. Oh my gosh, kites.
I had to pick up some kites today, which I'm so excited about. I know you're going to be talking about them, but I also know that you donate 50% of the proceeds of every single box to new projects. So we're really excited to talk to you.
50 cents, not
50.
Did
I say $50?
Actually, I realized our brains are so used to saying percent.
Oh, 50%. Right.
People say 50% all the time. And I'm like, oh my gosh, no.
Oh gosh. Thank you so much for correcting me. Sorry about that. 50 cents. Percent and cents sound very similar.
They're very different. Yes.
And they are very different. Thank you so much. Well, we're excited to hear from you today. I'm going to jump off and let you kind of take the reins, and I'll be back to hang with you and talk a little bit more.
Thank you. Thank you, Sam and Lisa, and to just the whole Tokeativity crew. This event, I was telling Sam ahead of it just how impressed I am at it. There's a lot that goes into this, and this team has really done a lot to make this a great event. So thank you guys so much. As you guys may hear in my voice, I'm sick, and I've been sick for a few days. And I woke up at 4 a.m. this morning after I'd like sweated through the second set of clothes, and I hit a moment of panic. I was like, I don't know if I can do this. But then I remembered who I was talking to. And I've done a lot of speaking events, but there's something about speaking to like this evolved, amazing group of women that actually give me strength. So I needed to be here for me. And I'm just so happy to talk about this particular topic. And so thank you. Most people want me to come to conventions to talk about wholesale distribution and how to find that right partner and all of that. That's fantastic. But I'm so glad that I get to share with all of you a little more about who we are. And I think that you'll hear a common theme throughout. So anyway, my name is Joy Hudson, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Nimble Distribution. And along with my business partner, Marissa, we've developed Nimble as a social enterprise. And so what is a social enterprise? I've actually looked up what Wikipedia said about it. It's a social enterprise is an organization that applies commercial strategies to maximize improvements in financial, social, and environmental well-being. So in our case, we're a for-profit business, but with a social mission. So our social goals are embedded in our objectives. A little history on me. I moved to Oregon from Las Vegas in 2015, and where I was in medical sales, actually selling mostly diagnostics and devices. And I was recruited into cannabis, and sometimes I still wonder how. I'm embarrassed to admit that I was ridiculously uninformed and subsequently judgmental about cannabis for many, many years of my life. And I tell on myself every opportunity that I get so that I don't ever become judgmental about something I'm just uninformed about. And so that was a good lesson for me in my life. And so I was recruited into cannabis in 2015, and here I wasn't a consumer of it. And I stood in this field in August of 2015, looking at 1,000 plants. I had never even seen one plant, but I was standing in a field looking at 1,000 plants, and something grabbed me. And I think I know what that is today, but I didn't then. Then it was like, it was overwhelming. I began like trying to figure out how these beautiful plants get into the market in this new era of cannabis. And so I said yes. It made zero sense, which made it even more magical, that it just didn't make sense for me to say yes. And I did. And so fast forward to 2017, the Oregon market was going wreck. And the farm that I was growing out of Southern Oregon needed a wholesale distribution company up in Portland to be able to facilitate the sales of our products. And that's when I knew I needed an expert. And those who knew Marissa, my business partner, knew that she was an expert on compliance. In this new era of recreational cannabis, I was too scared to not have that in our operational infrastructure. So that's when Marissa joined us, and we grew one of the state's largest wholesale distribution companies. But we were employees. We did it for somebody else, and so it was very exciting until it wasn't. October of 2020, we parted ways with that company, and we finally had the chance to build our vision of like, what were we going to do? Who were we going to be? We had just done this for the last 5 years. And now there was an opportunity ahead of me. And so Marissa had often throughout the years talked about a social enterprise, a B Corp, really a benefits corporation, really wanting to build a company that is both for its employees and a good resource for its community, but was a for-profit company. And so we began exploring what this option was. And really, when forming any company, the first thing you explore is, what are you going to do? And how are you going to do it? And so the what became very obvious. We were going to sell cannabis. And the how became very obvious. We were going to have a wholesale distribution company. But there is one additional question, and I'd like to pose that this particular question is so important. And it was why. Why we start businesses will absolutely build out the framework of who they are and who they become. And so I don't know, let's look at an example of this, okay? Let's look at the company we love to hate. Let's look at Amazon. What do they do? What they do is great. They provide a service that is a little too easy to use, and how they do it, I don't know, some kind of magic machine behind it. I don't know, but what they do and how they do it is great. But who they are is what makes us sick about capitalism. Okay, why Amazon exists today is because of a man's greed. And so what you end up with is a company that does something great. How they do it is probably pretty innovative and magnificent. And the result of why they do it is disgruntled employees who build unions, and it's dick rockets. Okay. And it's the most icky form of greed that's out there. And so those three questions of the what and the how and the who we're going to be, why we started it, and who we're going to be. And so who is Amazon? Look at Jeff Bezos. But the why and the what, but the what and the how are great. And so Nimble. At the beginning, we hired consultants because we really wanted to just understand the social impacts of people who went to prison, the social impacts. We really wanted to dive into what we didn't know. And so we hired a couple of consultants who'd done a lot of post-prison integration. So here we were building this wholesale company, doing what we know to do, get a license, start forming teams, come up with a name, find money. Nicole, anytime anybody talks about capitalizing a business, it makes me sweat. And so I say these three things, and it's three complete sentences about capitalizing. Capitalizing any business is hard, period. Capitalizing a cannabis business is effing hard, period. Capitalizing a cannabis business as a woman, and I did it as a white woman, and so I'm perfectly aware of the privilege that came even with that. But holy cow, I'm very public with the fact that as soon as we had to start raising capital for our company, I had to go on Lexapro. My full body was going into reaction of having to navigate this very scary and very predatory space for something that was beautiful, that we wanted to build. And I know that there's a lot of beautiful dreams out there that don't get built because of capitalism. And I think that it literally makes me choked up. And it was such a driving force as we were building Nimble. And so I'll talk to you a little bit more about the social enterprise side of Nimble. But we hired consultants, and we decided right away we wanted to be a second chance employer. I'm a misfit. We're kind of a company of misfits, and we wanted to make space for misfits. Many people who've sat in prison for the war on drugs, this was the opportunity given to them. This was the opportunity that presented themselves. What opportunities were presented to me when I was younger, and how did that form what I did next? And so we decided we had to be a second chance employer, and we really, and so we accept applicants, and we're very careful, thoughtful is what I should say, about how we look at those applicants. And so some of the other things that we wanted to be within our company, of like who we were going to be as far as the employees. What were the employees of Nimble who are we going to be internally? And so our benefits package, we're a higher than average starting wage. We have company paid lunches. We have this great cafe where people can come in, and the freezer is stocked and the pantry is stocked, and then we have air fryers. And so we want to know that people can sit down and have a hot lunch together. And so that was one of the things that was important, maybe because we're both moms. We're like, we got to feed them. And so pet benefits. This was something we reimbursed $25 per pet for anybody who wants to put a pet on pet benefits, because we felt that this would address two problems: animals in shelters and giving our employees the ability to have that companionship without the fear of and burden of what happens if they get ill. And so that's another thing we offer. And then human development. How do we internally develop educational, we call them lunch and learns. And so we actually have one coming up. I think it's May 20th. And we're going to talk about coping mechanisms. And we have a coach coming in who's going to do this amazing session with our team where we learn something about ourselves and collectively get better as a team. So these were things that we just wanted to be internally as a company. But down to the what and the how, because even that's what makes us a social enterprise too, not just the internal benefits as a company. And so what is we sell weed, lots of it, buy weed from women. We love selling weed. And so we represent a host of fantastic farms. And then we also have created our own brand. And as Lisa was saying, Kites is our premier brand with Nimble. And it's already I think it's in over 90 points of distribution. We've sold, I think it's like 30,000 packs of kites to date. And yes, 50 cents of every pack of kites goes to the New Leaf Project. And, when I said, and it impacted me really hard, the capitalization side of starting this business was so hard, guys. And we wanted to make sure that as we were building something, we wanted to take that and make sure. I'm sorry, I'm seeing these things pop up and I love them. I'm so ADHD. Like, I can't wait to chat with you all. So we wanted to help capitalize in some form or fashion, build something that starts an engine of capitalization. So New Leaf Project is where we're starting. And this is continuing to evolve for us as a company. So we literally, when we're building a product internally, and this is an important part because this is something that if you have a brand out there, you can do. We don't want this to be our unique selling factor. We want an impact to be made. So when you're building out your cost of goods schedule, when you're making a brand, you're looking at how much everything's going to cost me. There's a line item for everything down to a label. A label is going to cost me a penny. This is going to cost me X. And you create a cost of goods to know what margin you're working on as you build a product. And so built within our cost of goods schedule on any product we build internally is reparations. Reparations that goes back into the community that's been harmed by the war on drugs. So being a second chance employer, and not every one of our employees, it was a second chance, but I think people would be surprised to know who are. And I can just say that we wouldn't be the company we were today without those people. And we are an employee-owned company. And so 10% of the shares in our company are set aside for employees. We really want to help build legacy wealth in the cannabis space. And so we've gone the model of a social enterprise. So if you want to be a social enterprise, who are you going to be to your employees? How does your inside match your outside? And there's so many, I've seen people popping up. There's consultants who will gladly show you how to have your insides match your outsides as a company. But then what is the mission what you want to accomplish? And it should be scary as shit. It should be, when we said we wanted to heal the damage done by the war on drugs, we were two white women. Like we were like, who do we think we are? Like, we just got here and now we're going to solve this. It felt so scary. I was almost offended by our statement of it, but that's exactly what it has to be. It has to be something you can't solve. Your mission should be something that you'll never solve. It's that big. And so our mission is to heal the damage done by the war on drugs. How are we going to do it? We're going to be thoughtful about who we hire and who we are in our community. You come into Nimble, and many of you have seen it, and Tokeativity spends a lot of time there. We're colorful and bright, and we want people to feel life within our walls and to see diversity. And so we have lots of really wonderful women in the building too, and men too. You guys, I'm careful to not. I love when I can get amongst my girlfriends, but I'm always careful to. So there's so many great men along the way that have helped us champion Nimble into existence. So anyway, we have a real opportunity here. Capitalism sucks, guys. We hate it. We hate it. And social enterprises are the breeding ground for change in capitalization, in the capital markets that we hate. We hate the greed and the grossness with it. That comes from founders. This is why Marissa and I in our previous company could only do so much, because we couldn't execute what didn't come from above. And so it starts there. So we as owners stopping and asking, who am I being in this company? Why am I doing this? And then see what magic comes out of you from that. So anyway, thank you, Tokeativity. Thank you, Lisa. You're so amazing host. And I'm just so touched. This was my favorite thing to do today, although the rest of it was sweating and coughing. But even if I was doing amazing things, this would be my favorite thing I did today.
This is my favorite thing. And I'm so grateful that we've met and we've crossed paths so many times. And now we get the opportunity to like work together more closely. And our the energy of both of our companies and the people that work with us is so in alignment. And it's kind of crazy. Like when you put so much intention into what you're doing, the right people come at the right time. And we are definitely a believer in that. I want to just take a minute here to just ask a couple questions. And then part 2 of the Tokeativity Social inside the event is happening. We're having bridges, conversations, courageous conversations about race, equity, inclusion, as well as how to become a cannabis social media influencer with the Mommy Jane. So that's happening inside the event. If you're watching from our social, you have to be inside. It's free to join at our website, tokeativity.com/events. So lots of inspiring things that you had said, and lots of inspiration happening in the chat. If you look,
I know I'm trying to keep up with it. I love you guys so much.
I know. Mskindness says, "Okay, Joy, I will be your new best friend."
On my way. On my way to your best friend house.
We love Mskindness and everything that she's brought to our community, and you know, also, I remember on the Clubhouse the other day, Valerie from Barbary Herbals was like, I have a company crush on you, business crush on you. And so I think we can all say that that is true. And this is something really to strive for. And lots of people are really not talking about this. You're really one of the only people who are talking about this and really giving your employees these amazing benefits, pet benefits. Hello, that's like, nobody's doing that. And something you said about human development and talking about coping mechanisms. This is actually something that is so important to our ability to actually be present in our work. And life happens, but how do we get back on track? You know what I mean? And I love that you're offering that human development piece. We definitely support personal and professional growth here at Tokeativity. And it's really exciting to hear that you're doing the same.
I mean, to think that we as humans are supposed to show up a certain way and that we show up to jobs and that we're just like fully developed is silly. Like we as employers can continue human development.
We can, and we do, and you are.
You guys do so well. I get human development from you, so I know.
You had also mentioned that dreams don't get built because of capitalism. And I also wanted to add to that dreams don't get built because of fear in general, you know, and we don't believe in ourselves as women and as individuals. There's so much we allow to actually get in our way, and a lot of excuses can come from the fear. And I really want to put this out there to everybody that's listening now or later that, you know, if you have a dream, put your intention into it and don't let anything stop you from that dream. Focus on who you are and what you're good at, and like so many amazing things will come. And that's how Tokeativity has grown, is literally us just being ourselves. You know, it sounds like you, Joy, you being yourself and who you are and what you believe in is like, you know, showing up in these different spaces. People are attracted to that because they want the same. And we want increase for everybody. You want the best life for everybody, not just your employees, but the people that consume your cannabis and that you work with. And I think that's all just something to like really strive for.
Yeah. I fear is this big thing, right? We're just riddled with it and just given doses of it everywhere we look these days. And I always tell our team, listen, the antidote to fear is action. And so if you're super scared about something, I mean, some things we should be scared of. Like if you're scared of jumping off a cliff, don't do action at that point. Right.
That's dangerous.
But like our fear about picking up the phone and taking a chance on ourselves, the fear of that, the only antidotes action. You have to take a step in the direction of the thing you're scared of. That's for you, right? So yeah, I love it.
Well, I'm so grateful for you being here with us today, for sharing your wisdom and insight into social enterprises and how you're running your business. And it's just, you're such an inspiration to us. And we're just so grateful for you joining us today on this very exciting high holiday.
Yes, yes. I wish I was smoking weed with everyone. Dang it.
We'll like cheers you one.
Thank you. Smoke one for me.
Yes,
all you fun girls. I'm going to hop into the chat. I want to connect with all these amazing.
Yes, hop into the chat, connect with everybody. There's a continuation in the sessions if you're in the live event. So we'll see you inside. Joy, thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Well, y'all, so much wisdom was shared this morning from Nicole and Joy, and this will be available on our YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please just Google Tokeativity YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on socials. We're on all the things, Instagram, Facebook. We're now on TikTok, etc. We'd love to get to know you. We'd love to know what you're working on. Please join us. We are going to be back here on the main stage at 2:45 Pacific. That's 5:45 Eastern. And we're going to be giving away some stuff. You have to be here to win. And we're definitely going to be looking for the most interactive folks. So go forth, have fun the rest of the event, and we'll see you in a little bit. Hi, everybody. Hi. Look who I have with me. Co-founder and CEO of Tokeativity, Samantha Montanero.
Hello.
Woo! We're so excited. I hope you all have had a good time.
It's been so much fun.
It's been such a blast. It goes by so fast, and that rhymed. So while everyone's kind of getting back from the sessions, we'd love to hear in the comments, like what's one thing that you're taking away from today's event? Did you meet somebody? Did you have a new idea? Did you discover something new about yourself? Did you learn some new tips about business ownership, or what inspired you today? We really want to hear in the comments. Let us know. And before we do giveaways and have a special guest with us today, I want to do one last shout out to our collaborators and sponsors for today's event. A huge thank you to our brand partners, Kites, Sacred Garden, Thrice, Kind Leaf Pendleton, and Scentsy Magazine for your support and dedication to the liberation of women through cannabis. Thank you to Nimble Distro, Green Muse, Club Kindness, Vanguard Media Online, and Green Legacy, the Mommy Jane. So much support. The Mary Jane's Women of Weed Film, International Consulting Business Women's Association, Oaksterdam University, High Hurst Street, Oregon Cannabis Association, Women Leaders in Cannabis, Cannabis Travel Association, Women Employed in Cannabis, The Bluntness, Buds and Brushes, and the Cannamom Show.
Amazing!
Yes, as well as Otherworld Wellness, our community contributor. So obviously it takes a village, so much support. There's a lot of women's support here to follow all of these amazing communities, businesses, and individuals. We really appreciate it.
Joy was talking about social enterprises and businesses who are crushing it, who also give a shit and do amazing work internally and externally. All of the brands that Tokeativity works with are on the same level. We really care. And please do support the brands that you see throughout the Tokeativity network.
Yes.
They deserve the love.
They do. They do deserve the love. All right, well, let's get to it. We have a very special guest who's going to be joining us for the first part of the giveaways. Let's add Miss Wendy Borman. Woo!
Hello, bringing the spirit fingers for you.
Yes.
I have this gong that Sam
Let's do it.
Hold on, we got to gong you.
Gong.
Here you go.
Here we go.
Oh my God, I love props. They're so fun. Okay.
Thank you. I feel extra special now. Thank you.
Welcome, Wendy.
Thank you.
Some of our HQ team is going to be joining us in just a few minutes. But first, before we do the special giveaway from the Women of Weed film, Mary Jane's Women of Weed film, can you just share with those who don't know about the film a little window into what the film's about?
Yeah. So Mary Jane's The Women of Weed is a documentary film about women leading the cannabis industry. So we were actually the first film to document this. I see the lovely Amanda. She's actually one of the Puffragettes, one of the Women of Weed featured in the film. And I also want to give a shout out to Tokeativity because you guys hosted our Portland premiere way back when. So you have been longtime supporters of the message and the Puffragette movement. So
the film is
excited
amazing.
to be here.
Thank you for the work that you've done.
Yeah, thank you. It's really wonderful when, as a filmmaker, when your core values line up with an audience, and so if you feel like you can elevate the voices in a community that you feel is doing great work, and they also respond positively to that, that's like the holy grail as a filmmaker. So it's really exciting to be here and share the love.
Yeah.
Yay. Well, thank you for your work on that and your continued efforts in making sure that people know about the women's movement and the Women in Weed movement. Really appreciate it. I know last year you launched the digital version of the film, so it's accessible now on and through your website and through your distribution company. So it sounds like we might be giving away some copies of so I'm actually going to bring on our Tokeativity HQ folks And I see them.
Yes.
Are people still standing? I don't know. They might be like couch lounging by
They're
now.
downstairs. Here we go.
Hey, there they are.
Everybody. Hi.
It is a joy. Yeah.
What's up? We're having like a 420 party downstairs.
Oh yeah, I can tell.
Yes. So Casey, I think you are going to help us out with some of the winners here. I see we have picked some names, and you do have to be here. So why don't we get started? Oh,
yes, and if I can just set it up. So today we're going to give away 5 copies of the Mary Jane's film, and you can either get a Vimeo download or you can get a signed DVD. So if you're in the US, we're happy to mail you a DVD. Otherwise, you can choose a Vimeo. So, you know, winner's choice on that. And then, of course, if you miss out, you can watch the film through Amazon, Apple, Google Play, Canopy, Vudu, and Vimeo. And that's all accessible through our website.
I never heard of Vudu.
Yeah, Vudu's kind of a new one. You know, some people who are like anti-Apple and anti-Google really like Vudu. That was kind of a fandango.
Sounds about right.
You try to be everywhere, you know, like let your audience find you where they are.
I love that. Yay. All right. So let's do the honors. We have this lovely gong here.
I was expecting a drum roll. Yeah. Okay, yes. Can I?
We're ready.
Is there a drum roll up in here? Let's see.
No, we have the drum roll.
Oh, you have it. Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's pick the 5 winners. Drum roll, please. Okay, we've got 5 winners here. We have Liv Nagler, Joan Samuels, Laura Thomas, Ashley Schaefer, and Madeline Klein.
Woo! Amazing!
Congratulations, everybody! Woo!
Yes.
You're going to be getting a copy of the Women in Weed, Mary Jane's Women in Weed film. And so Casey, who's up front, will be getting in touch with everybody, and we'll find out if you would like a DVD or a download.
Yes.
And we'll connect you with Wendy.
Perfect. Yay. Thank you, everyone. It's so fun to be here. I'm going to go take my edible now. So,
yes. Yay. What are you consuming today?
Ooh, I'm going to do I was going to do a wild gummy. So, you know, there's the good brand, you know, appreciate the values, and they taste really yummy, and they're vegan. So, you know, like win.
Delish.
Well, thanks all for your work. I love your Womanifesto. A huge supporter. So thank you so much for what you do, Tokeativity. Mwah. See you guys soon.
We love you. Thank you so much for your support right back. Happy 420.
Same to you. Bye.
Bye.
Oh my.
Oh, Sam's having.
I'm like holding on to the back of the chair.
We can adjust ourselves. You want to sit over there? Okay, we're gonna help her out here. We don't need to be plugged in.
We can just turn it. You can just turn it a little bit.
Okay, there we
Here
go.
We go.
All right. Oh, so much better. That's
Here
more.
we go.
You can look in Sam's closet.
You can see all the sparkles happening.
Okay. All right. Next up, we're giving away some tickets to Buds and Brushes 423 event. It's a digital event. This is so cool. This is a global event, another woman-owned business based in Jamaica, and we're so stoked to be partnering with them and to be a media partner for their events, and we're so grateful for these tickets. So drum roll, please.
Desiree, Tyrion, and Kim Davis.
Woo! Congratulations, Desiree and Kim. You're going to Buds and Brushes. Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Sam's distracting me. She's trying to help me out. Buds and Brushes 423 event. And Melissa Bloomfield is the founder of that. You can check out her link tree in the chat box there. I'll also put it up here on the screen for y'all to see. Thank you so much. And congratulations to Desiree and Kim. Woo woo.
Yay, we love you, Melissa.
Yay. Oh, God. This thing's so sensitive. Okay. I'm not even high yet, y'all. I'm saving that for afterwards.
Somebody's gonna
I am.
Sam is high. HQ is high too. Okay. All right. Next up, we have the winner of a $300 travel gift card courtesy of Front Row Travels. It's the Black woman-owned travel agency that is cannabis friendly. And so if you're looking to travel somewhere and you need to find out if they're cannabis friendly or you want it figured out for you, contact Front Row Travels. So, all right. Without further ado, drum roll, please. Francesca Astino, congratulations! You got a $300 travel gift card from Front Row Travels. We'll put you in touch with Casey. Casey will hook you up.
So awesome.
She's gonna hook you up. She's gonna email you. Don't even worry about it. And all right, up next, we are giving away 2 gift certificates to Tokeativity. This is good for memberships. This is good for advertising. Also, if you want to sponsor. And we've got 2 winners. One of them is a $50 gift card, and the other one is a $100 gift card. So let's start with the $50 one. Drum roll, please.
Oh.
Nicole Weber.
Congratulations, Nicole. You get a $50 Tokeativity gift certificate. Good for memberships, advertising, or sponsorships. And we're giving away 1 more gift certificate, $100. This can also be used. I'm just going to put this out there. This can also be used for the Mommy Jane's guide that we just launched today. So you can use the $50 gift card, Nicole, and our second winner, which we're about to announce, if you would like to get access to this. We're gonna hook you up. Okay, drum roll, please.
Juicy.
Joyce Gerber from the Canna Mom Show. Woo-hoo! Congratulations. This is so fun, y'all. I don't want to get off, but congratulations. This is so fun. I'm so happy that y'all won. We have so many winners. We love doing giveaways. If you got something you want to give away, let us know in the future. And this is such a great way for us to get to know what women-owned businesses to support too. So
happy 420, everybody.
Yes, happy 420. Let us know what you're sparking on. We're sparking on some kites pre-rolls available in Oregon. Yep, there's down there. We got ours. And light one up today. We hope that you have a beautiful day and that you're getting lots of getting very high, like I'm about to.
Getting lots
of stones. And we love you so much. And I'm just kind of reading through the comments here to see if anybody had anything to share about what they learned or what they loved or what have you. I see lots of fun, everything. Great to see everybody. Love your hair. Appreciate that. I think you're talking about me, but maybe you're talking about Wendy. Look at her hair.
That's a real power. Oh, and you have your crown on too.
Oh, shit. That's so cool. For those of you who don't know, it's a High Society collection crown. And I know Casey has one of those. Oh, she got the earrings too.
I'm wearing the Canna Mom AF necklace by High Society Mama.
Oh, hell yeah.
Canna Mom AF. I'm going to be wearing this when I go to my son's track meet later this afternoon.
Kim Davis is smoking on Jack Herrera. That's nice.
Woo!
Desiree T. Pax always. What's up? Okay. We've got Liv, got an orange blossom joint from Felcana up in Washington. Woo, woo. Happy 420. Sparks up to you. We love you. We appreciate you.
Keep pushing the movement forward, everybody. You've got so much power. You impact everybody around you. Spread the good word of cannabis, courageous conversations, equity, empowerment, love,
intuition,
fun.
weed. We're just gonna say words now.
Who else has words?
Who else has words?
Who else has words?
HQ.
Compassion. Creativity.
Joy says love. Happy 420. Sabrina says happy 420, ladies. I'm smoking on lemon cookies.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yum.
Lee says, was so inspired by these incredible women on their journeys. Thank you for creating this community. You know, we're going to be going on tour, y'all. We don't know where. So if you are wanting us to stop by your town, let us know. Hit us up on social, email us. We'd love to know where you're at and where your consumption-friendly places are. We like those. So let us know. We love you. Happy 420.
Speaking of, we've got a weed bus parked in the driveway, so we're going to go check that out.
Yes.
And, stay tuned. More on that. Happy 420, everybody. Much love. We'll see you soon.
We'll see you on the online space and in person at our Tokeativity tours. Happy 420. Woo, 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 woo. Oh, God.